The date that this video is posted proves that these predictions are being made ahead of time, as do these time-stamped emails and forensic notes PDF documents. If you are skeptical for some reason, please email me and I will forward these to you. If you have already watched this essential introductory information, you can skip ahead no more than 4 minutes. This important video will talk about God's prophetic signs and connections that pointed to December 26, 2024, regarding the death of President Trump, from a heart attack. Trump is the 45th president. The inverse of 45, 1 divided by 45, is 0.0222. December 26, 2024, was the 20th anniversary of the 220,000 deaths in the Indian Ocean tsunami. 2 hours after Israel bombed targets in Yemen on December 26, 2024, the director of the WHO posted on X that he was meters away from one of the blasts at the airport. 6 people were killed in the bombing. This was on the anniversary of the tsunami that reached Yemen 6 hours after the earthquake. December 26, 2024 was also the day that Pope Francis conducted a ritual of knocking on a prison door 6 times. At this time, Trump was in the news for his post on X regarding the prisoners whose death sentences had been commuted by Biden. Trump said that these prisoners could go to hell. Trump is predicted to die on January 1st, 6 days after the Pope's 6 knocks and the 6 deaths in Yemen on the anniversary of the tsunami that took 6 hours to reach Yemen. Much more regarding these signs on December 26, 2024 are explained in the Israel Nearly Kills WHO Chief video. December 26, 2024 was a very important step in the trail of signs leading to Trump's death on January 1st, 2025. As will be explained in this video, God pointed to December 26, 2024 in advance. It is through these connections between prior signs and December 26, 2024 that God has told many different stories, and these stories convey extremely important information and knowledge that everyone needs to know, which is why this video about how God pointed to December 26th regarding Trump's death must be watched. The same is true for December 12th. If you do not watch the videos that predict that Trump would die on December 12th or December 26th, you will have missed entirely the point of the prediction that is from God. Also, all of the videos that predicted Trump would die on December 26, 2024 are 100% correct, and they all must be watched. And the reason why they are 100% correct, the analysis, is because the prophetic signs on this date confirmed the analysis. Furthermore, like I've explained, Trump is predicted to die 2 + 2 + 2 days after the Pope knocked 2 + 2 + 2 times on the same day as 2 + 2 + 2 deaths in Yemen on the 20th anniversary of the tsunami that killed 220,000 people that took 2 + 2 + 2 hours to reach Yemen. And Trump is the 45th president, and the inverse of 45 is 0.222. The name Trump is equal to 88 in Simple English Gematria, and Donald J. Trump is equal to 888 in English Gematria. Trump, 88, is predicted to die 8 days after the Dow lost 1,123 points on December 18, 2024. 1,123 is the 188th prime number, which is a number God uses frequently to point to H188 in Strong's Greek Hebrew Concordance, which is the word that means woe, ! Used in the Bible in the context of extreme judgment from God. So this drop, this free fall, if you will, of 1,123 points was immediately recognized to be extremely prophetic, because God has been using this number also as symbolism for 188, because it is the 188th prime number, which is the number God uses. And also this day is 8 days before Trump, who is equal to 88 in simple English gematria, is predicted to die. Trump's predicted death will be a woe! The number 188 has 6 divisors. Kamala Harris is predicted to die in a plane crash 6 days after this woe sign in the stock market. Her death will also be a woe. The sum of the divisors of 188 equals 336. G336 is the word that means to put to death, murder. I do not believe that Kamala Harris will be murdered. I'm sure that there will be conspiracy theories about that, though. But from God's signs, it's clear that it will be the result of a bird strike and also lightning and turbulence. So, in other words, God will put her to death in her plane crash. But Trump will be murdered. But it's just interesting, though, that the sum of the divisors, which God has demonstrated to be valid in previous signs, the sum of the divisors of 188 hint at this word for to put to death and murder. But that's what we're going to have here, this big woe with the death of Kamala Harris and the murder of Trump. The fall of 1,123 points, which hints at H188 in the concordance, because again, 1,123 is the 188th prime number, and in the concordance, this is the word for woe! Used in the Bible in the context of extreme judgment from God. This fall of 1,123 points in the Dow on December 18th, 2024, was 2 + 2 + 2 days after Trump rang the ceremonial opening bell at the New York Stock Exchange on Wall Street in Lower Manhattan, which is near where 2 planes struck 2 towers on 9/11. Trump rang the opening bell while being named Time Magazine's Person of the Year for the 2nd time. Okay, so this is amazing now. God led this trail of signs from December 18th with these 2s. In other words, from December 12th, which was 2 + 2 + 2 days before December 18th, okay? On December 12th, Trump was in the New York Stock Exchange. 2 + 2 + 2 days later, the Dow had this big drop, which was prophetic, right? Because it hinted at woe. And Trump, in his death, will be a woe. Now, this separation of these 2 dates between Trump on Wall Street and the crash on Wall Street is 2 + 2 + 2 days. That's amazing because God demonstrated, first of all, on December 14th and December 16th, at these 2 + 2 + 2 days intervals, signs involving the number 2, which are explained in the other videos. So I won't explain that here. But that's amazing. But also, from the sign on the 12th, which was 2 + 2 + 2 days before the crash on Wall Street, Trump was down near Wall Street, and Trump called into Channel 9 News on 9/11. He trumpeted on 9/11. The local news station in Manhattan, Channel 9 News, and he inadvertently trumpeted that his tower on Wall Street had become the tallest tower in Lower Manhattan. Well, through the 9/11 events, God pointed to George Washington's inauguration on Wall Street after which he marched down Wall Street and into Trinity Chapel, where he consecrated the nation to God, saying that if the nation were to ever turn away from God, it would lose its divine protection and blessings, which it did temporarily on 9/11. The Trinity Chapel today is known as the Miracle Chapel because it was the only building at Ground Zero that survived the falling debris and did so without even a broken window. And that was because of it being sheltered by the sycamore tree, for which today there is a 20-foot high bronze statue commemorating the tree, a statue of its roots, as it was uprooted, and the roots were uprooted. So anyway, God pointed to all of this chapel in Washington and his consecration of the nation to God and to Trinity Chapel at the founding of the nation, which is why, incidentally, after the buildings collapsed on 9/11, the foundation of Federal Hall, where he was inaugurated, was cracked. It symbolized the cracked foundation of America, which is God, being cracked. Okay? Now, it's not on good foundation anymore, in other words. Now, the thing is, Trumpet was down on Wall Street. He trumpeted on 9/11 into Channel 9 News about Wall Street, but he was on Wall Street in the stock exchange, and at the time, he was named Person of the Year for the second time. And Wall Street is near where the two planes struck the two towers. That's a 222. Well, George Washington was born on the date 2/22. 222. Incidentally, this is why I knew before March 11th, 2020, that something very big and bad and world-changing would happen on that date, because it was 222 months after 9/11. And on that date, Trump trumpeted with his Oval Office speech the CVD disease in an 11-minute speech that ended precisely at the clock on the live TV news screen ticked 9:11 p.m. That's because the 11 minutes, because the Flight 11 with a crew of 11 flew to the Twin Towers. It looked like a giant 11 in New York State, the 11th state in New York City with 11 letters. But also that was the day that the World Health Organization officially declared the CVD disease to be a pandemic. Okay, so anyway, 222 is symbolic of Washington, who was born on the date 222. And God pointed to Washington and his inauguration on Wall Street, which is why Trumpet was on Wall Street 2 + 2 + 2 days in between the day he was on Wall Street and the day that the stock market crashed on Wall Street. Okay, so I've explained that now, I think. Now, Trump's death is predicted to be 2 days after Kamala Harris's predicted death in a plane crash. Because, of course, it was planes that crashed on 9/11 near Wall Street. So anyway, all of this is pointing to this pattern of these 2 + 2 + 2 days, because as I just mentioned, these other signs on the 14th and 16th at these 2 + 2 + 2 days intervals. That was all hinting at the coming deaths of these two leaders 2 days apart. Okay? Believe me, I know far better than you how the prediction made in this video was derived. And more importantly, I know far better than you why the righteous Christian God of the Bible has given me a voice through this prediction. If you are a quote-unquote Christian or Muslim, this prediction was not learned through a demon. Be warned that blaspheming the Holy Spirit is the unforgivable sin. If you are a New Ager or New Spirituality person, this prediction was not learned through somehow tapping into the supposed universal collective consciousness. If you are a conspiracy theorist, this prediction was not learned through figuring out a supposed code that the Illuminati and Satanists are using. This prediction was learned through the Bible and through watching carefully the Lord's prophetic signs, which Jesus commanded all Christians to do. Besides proving that Jesus Christ is the Lord, the reason why God has given me a voice through this prediction is to prove that the controversial things that I am saying in the videos on this channel are the truth. Therefore, a wise person will want to watch all of the videos on this channel. What I will also do is create a video or two that summarizes some of the controversial things that the Lord will prove to be true when the prediction being made in this video comes to pass. I will leave links to these must-watch videos in the description box below this video. Again, the purpose of this prediction, that is from God, is to prove these things that I will talk about. And therefore, it would be foolish to not watch the videos that I will leave links for in the description box below this video. Aliens and UFOs are demons masquerading as aliens and UFOs. Most people's spiritual experiences are demonic deception, especially if they are not a true follower of Christ. In the last days, many people who claim to be a follower of Christ will have spiritual experiences that are in reality demonic. God became a man and died a horrible death at the hand of the ruler of this world, Satan, and then defeated death for you, so that you too can overcome death, which is the price that must be paid for sin. It is time to repent, which means to change one's ways and turn to God and become a disciple of Jesus. Please leave a like and upvote the video, and once this prediction has come to pass, share this video with everyone you know, and more, don't stop sharing it everywhere in social media. It is essential that everyone immediately read the homepage of my website, TrumpPrediction.com. If you are watching this on the YouTube platform, please note that not all of the videos are on YouTube. You need to switch to the Odyssey.com or Rumble.com channel, and do it now in case you aren't able to later.